going to practice finding a draw on liquidity. So, highest time frame. Would say that because we took that low just about, and then we disrespected that fair value gap. Right. Next, we haven't got any fair value gaps here, so next is 100% that high. It's like there's almost no doubt in my mind that it's that high. So that's going to be next on the 4 hour. Again, no PDOAs to check on really. That got closed past, but it also has now been used to bounce higher. So we could look to the left, and we've got a little bit of resistance here, but we've already took that high and we failed to break structure. So there's that. Can do up to the 30. Okay, we've got a fair value gap there. As well as one here as well. That respected that. We haven't made a new high from it yet. So okay, I think this is where I've been getting confused now. I've dropped so far that it's like, okay, what are we looking at here? Realistically, we just need to keep looking at what we're looking at. So let me drop to the 5 on that. With this, we got a fair value up there. 30-minute one below. So we disrespected that. Okay, cool. So next draw should be there, going into that 30-minute gap. Okay, and then we do hit that. So now we already straight away bounce off that. We've took some internal sell side liquidity. So can we zoom in on this? There's a much larger gap on the 15-minute. But now we're going to look for what's getting disrespected. So straight away we disrespect this gap, we invert that. So maybe the next target would be there, at least. No. Forgot actually that we respected that order block as well. So now we've come back down. Okay. So now we are going higher. We've just disrespected that. So the draw is pretty confidently going to be that, because we've got our market structure shift as well now. So we're just trying to not catch the bottom of something. Okay. So I was gonna say if this now comes back above this, I would have got in. So let's just check why we've come that far and if there is a potential reason that we can, potential place we could get in. Okay. Disrespecting. Alright, cool. Alright, hang on. So now we must flip our bias, I believe, to these lows because that's getting disrespected. On the 5 minute, that got disrespected quite heavily. So the next target should be those lows then. And then can it be a thing where you look for the trade inside of this gap here? Okay, we're coming back up. We seem to have respected that area. So could now that be the signal to get in? My reservation is that there's equal highs there. So I'd wait. So we're flipping our bias again. Okay, I'm glad I didn't get in that because I almost did, but off that alone, but we took no liquidity. And when I waited for the liquidity to get taken, now it's telling me a different story. So now we've disrespected that. So our draw again is at this high. So now we have to wait for liquidity to get taken. Alright, we've got two opposing arguments here because we've just took a high. We're respecting that gap there. So let's see what gets disrespected, what gets respected. Alright, that bullish gap got respected. So the draw is going to be high, I believe, at the moment. Want to see this 5 minute get respected. Oh my god. We just constantly flipping bias after bias. Like, what the hell? Alright, so now that's got disrespected. Alright, okay. Let's go again. Skip me a few hours. Alright. Daily. This. Reason? Because we swept that low and we closed that. Alright, so that's enough of a reason to keep going higher. 4 hour. It's going to be judged off this gap. We have just respected that gap. So actually on the 4 hour, we're bearish. Maybe we're going to take this low here. That's what we'd have to guess on the 4 hour. So 1 hour, same thing. Looking like we're going to take that low. Right, let's just forget all of that then now, and then judge off this. So we've got our ideas. That wants to be a low. So 30-minute. We've made a gap. We've come into this gap, and now we're coming out of the gap. Right, so on the 30-minute, we're bearish, targeting these lows. That's on the 30. Same on the 15. The last thing to be respected was that gap. Nothing to tell us anything otherwise at the moment. So we see we're now making fair value gaps higher. No, we're not. We do have one there. So draw's still lower. Took it at 10-2 as well. Cool, so that was off the 30-minute gap holding. Nice. Really, that could have potentially been a trade somewhere in there. Off of sweeping that. Got a lot of gaps though there. Okay. So reassess. We're coming all the way out. 4 hour, we took that low, which is what we expected. Now we don't know. Now we do not know because we've made a gap, but we've got nothing else to tell us at the moment. So I guess we have to drop down. So we've just swept sell side liquidity. Now got some targets above here because we are expecting a retest of that. This did take liquidity and break structure, so really this area should hold. So I am currently bullish. If we can get some other market structure to agree with us, like this. So I'm going to drop to the 15 on this. Currently respecting an order block. So I don't want to be too hasty with this. And we've just made a bullish gap. Very small one, but we've made one nonetheless. So we come into that, reject it, continuing to reject it, strongly rejecting it. Now the target should be higher. Nice, okay. Cool. So next we are expecting still higher prices. We're expecting that to be next. So we're going to look at where we could potentially get in on a move like that. Alright, that was next. Nice. So now we could still expect that. We've closed all these gaps here. We've made a new 15 gap. So because we've just took liquidity, we can expect to pull back into that gap, which we do get. Swept a nice amount of liquidity. Looking like we might respect that. We have come down and disrespected a lot of fair value gaps though, so maybe that might be next. Maybe we need to really wait and see. Okay, that is next. Disrespected that massively, unless we can turn around. Alright, so what have we just done here? Just took another low. So on a 4 hour, it looks like we might be continuing to sell. 4 hour next target would be somewhere like that. And then the question remains, why would we go there? Let's see if there's any other areas that might be the reason. So we have closed that gap. We're now in an order block. We would semi-expect still higher prices because we've just took the internal liquidity that, well, we took that and then we took our relative new liquidity. But if it's not a sweep, which it's looking like it might not be, oh, it is, okay. So we're now looking for either that low, which I don't think it will be, or we're now coming back to these highs. So we're just waiting for things to confirm. Okay, so looks like we're accumulating near a 15-minute gap. Anything else on the 5? Okay, we're also accumulating inside a 5-minute gap. We're quite low in that range, so I'm not going to take anything too hasty. Alright, don't worry about entry, let's just keep looking for the draw. Where is the next draw? Big rejection now. Looking like the draw might be higher. That is quite a large rejection. We're also not allowing ourselves to create a gap. I would say that the draw is now higher. So let's have a look. problem is, to confirm that, we have to break this high. I mean, we have to close this gap, which we look like we are doing. We might just take that high before. Okay, so this is definitely going to be our next draw then. We've got a 5-minute gap right there. Looking like we're about to come into it. We are, come back out, and then we hit target. Okay. So I'd say draw again is going to be that high because we've already come up to here. Broken structure, so that should have been respected if we were going lower still, but it hasn't been respected. So 15-minute, we've just closed past that, so pretty confident now that this high is next. Just need to find a position where there's enough liquidity taken for us to get in on a move like that, which could be something like this. It's not the most liquidity. I feel like it would be stronger if we took this low, but let's see how we react. Okay, so now we have failed to invert that, and we've respected that, come down, and we're now disrespecting all of this, respecting everything bearish, so that should be the next low to go, and then maybe we could tap into that 15-minute gap and go from there. Okay, no, we didn't. So to be honest, I guess once we saw that, like that, these ones being disrespected, that could have been a move to do that, but it's a bit of a difficult one, really. Alright, and then we hit the 4-hour thing. So what have I learned from this? I've learned that number one, we need to see significant liquidity get taken in order for it to be. I don't know what I've learned yet, actually. I've learned that I've learned that drawing liquidity is the make or break of good trading. When you know direction, trading's a lot easier. All you need is an entry model once you know direction. Alright, I don't call it a day because I need to start doing other things, but yeah, I'm going to continue to figure out drawing liquidity and get my bias better.